Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking all about the 1961 penny. And there's a lot of people who think, oh, I found one, it's going to be worth a ton of money. Well, today we're going to be going over the ones that are worth a lot of money because most of them are just a few cents, if that. So we'll be covering the errors, the varieties, and the conditional rarities all in this, as well as the proofs, and I'm going to go to a presentation and walk you right through it, so let's head on over there now. And let's jump right into the 1961 penny. Here's a general memorial cent overview. This obverse design's been there since 1909, featuring the first U.S. person on a cent. In the 100th anniversary was 1909 of Lincoln's birth. 150th, they changed the back of the coin, and then again on the 200th anniversary, so that's sort of been the theme there. But you can pause that or go back if you want to learn a lot more about the general design. In terms of pure conditional rarity, I really wouldn't submit this coin unless it's virtually flawless and you expect a red designation where it's like bright red on both sides, and you're thinking Mint-State 67 for 500 bucks. 66 plus is a really tough grade to get, and 66 at PCGS you'll probably have not even, you'll lose money if you end up getting a 66 back and there's not like incredible toning on it. So that's sort of what you're dealing with from a pure circulation. If you have a proof set, proof sets did go up in terms of the mintage figures, so it's a lot less rare than some of the ones from like 10 years before this. They started back again in 1950. You're really going to want to look for the deep cameo where there's a ton of contrast between Lincoln's bust and the fields. But in terms of the varieties, which is what I always think is interesting, this is not, this is like a master die that is then hub doubling, where this is, going to carry over to a lot of different dies that then strike coins. So it's not like a authentic double die in the sense of the ones that we'll see in the future. So there's not much value on it, but you can look for a spread on the outsides of the, E, especially in the R and Y, there's some bars there, and then same thing over here on the 6. But this is a better one to look for that's sort of more authentic, with some serious doubling protruding out to the top of the L and the I in the Liberty. Here's sort of a wider view, so it may actually not be that visible, but if you have like a roll of uncirculated 1961s, this is a good thing to look for on it. And these values are not for certified coins, these are just for raw ones that clearly have the doubling. So, 10 bucks as opposed to like maybe 50 cents or 25 cents for uncirculated 1961, not bad at all. This next doubling is also pretty interesting because it's the extra thickness, I think distended hub doubling, where you can see a real slant, especially in the bottom of the B. It's getting pulled out here, and while there's not clear separation, same thing in the bottoms of the 9 and the 6 digits, there is that doubling separation. And then on the proofs, you can look for a double die reverse. Looks like some clear spread on the bottom, of the 1 cent. So that's something that's nice and should be on your radar. In terms of some of the errors, here's, that's something I always like talking about. This is like a Pac-Man, I call them error, but it's really just a defective planchet. This one sold for $215, and I think is pretty nicely displayed in terms of, having something break away, probably due again to those metal impurities. Something gets under the surface and ends up falling, and then you get that. There's also this straight clip, which is probably punched on the end of one of the strips of metal that they punch the planchets out of. So almost all of them, are regular, circular ones, but obviously if you punch it on the end and it's not too much on the end, that planchet can then get through the striking process and emerge, and then somebody plucked it out and, kept it. But this was $45, a neat straight clip error, and then this one was struck on a silver dime that would have been intended for a 90% silver Roosevelt dime, obviously, and this one was taken out shortly after entering circulation because it's still in mint state, and it's actually pretty well struck. Sharp details, often some of the lettering's cut off, but the planchet would have definitely been noticeable. Sold for about 1,200 bucks. And there's also a second defective planchet that I prefer a little bit less. I like the Pac-Man, but this one sold for 140 bucks, and I wanted to show it off as well. So that's what we've got there on the 1961. Everything from proof stuff to some minor things and really minor things on the regular ones with varieties to errors. Thanks for watching, and best of luck finding whatever you're looking for within the 61 pennies. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social media platforms. You can also go to my main channel website, treasuretownYT.com, to learn more about the channel and sort of stay in contact. I also will eventually host all of these videos on coinsmetalscards.com, which will be both news, marketplace, and coin information. I do have the goal of eventually getting pretty much every US coin, date, mint mark, denomination on the channel with a similar video to the one that you just watched, and that will likely all be hosted there. And then I also have treasuretowncoins.com, which is sort of my coin dealing wing, coin dealing only entity that is a little bit less focused on content production. So thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. I also have videos that are not just the date, mint mark, denomination recap in this format, so you can check some of those out, and I'll have fun seeing you there.